Before we begin today, we want to take a moment to acknowledge something many people are quietly carrying right now. Recent reports and released documents connected to the Jeffrey Epstein case have resurfaced deeply disturbing realities about abuse, power, and exploitation. For many, simply reading headlines or hearing fragments of this information has been enough to trigger shock, grief, anger, and a profound sense of disillusionment. At Fusion Body Studio, we want to be very clear about where we stand. We do not support abuse of any kind, ever. And we believe that where credible evidence exists, justice should be pursued through lawful, ethical processes and with truth and accountability at the center. As a space devoted to healing and embodiment, we also recognize that moments like this don't just live in the mind. They land in the nervous system, the body, and the heart. Spirituality is not about looking away or numbing ourselves to uncomfortable truths. It's about having the courage to bring darkness into awareness, to name it, and to meet it with clarity rather than denial. This video is not about speculation or sensationalism. It's about support. It's about how we process hard truths without losing our grounding, our compassion, or our humanity. It's about holding space for ourselves and each other as we navigate information that can feel overwhelming. If you're here, you're not alone. Let's take this moment together, grounded, present, and honest, and continue. Hello, everybody. I'm actually shocked we have people in the chat because it's 6:30 in the morning here in the East Coast. So if you're in the chat, let us know where in the world you are, because where Paula is, it's already 7:30 p.m. She's over.
Yeah. And I was not expecting anybody.
Oh, we got Jen, you're up early. Jen Brown's in the chat. She's one of our Fusion Body members, and she's even behind me in time. So I know. She's already up ready to do her workout for the day. Iowa. Yeah, same. So you guys are up early birds here. So this is amazing. I was telling Paula, because we were so early, that I was like, we might not have anybody in the chat, but that's fine because people can watch the replay. And this is what works for us because Paula is on the other side of the world. You guys,
13 hours apart.
Yes.
Pennsylvania.
My time zone. So we're up 6:30. We got people in the 5:30 a.m. I always say Paula is our time traveler because she's finishing today as we're beginning it. So she can tell us what
it's already over. It's already happened.
What Thursday has to offer for us. And so, of course, this is...
Sorry to interrupt, but this made me think of this funny TikTok of this guy in America, and then he's calling somebody in Australia and it's like, so who won the election? Because it's like 12 hours
ahead. Welcome. We have a new Fusion Body Studio member in
awesome.
North Carolina. You are just north of me in North Carolina. So that is awesome. Welcome to Fusion Body Studio. Well, before we get into the heaviness of this episode today, which is super important because, as you guys know, at Fusion Body Studio, we're not just a fitness boutique. We're taking all of my knowledge from India, all of Paula's knowledge, and we're using exercise we're doing the same workouts they do in gyms, but from a different perspective. And that is the spiritual perspective of what's actually happening within the psyche and the mind. But before we get into that and we talk about the Epstein emails, some exciting news, you guys. We now have a body mic. So our workouts are going to get even better because we have fancy lights now in the shala, and we have a body mic, so now I can talk live. I did a 30-minute seated workout. One of our members broke her foot, so I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to show you guys how to work out from a seated position. The body mic, I think Paula has just uploaded it, but we're going to send out the email today or tomorrow, and we're refining how we work the mic, but it's going to make it so much better. And with the notification, Stephanie, it's so annoying because there's nothing that's YouTube's issue. But I'll tell you what, if you guys want, I think I have it in the description box. If not, I'll put it in the description box after we're done. If you join my Substack or Paula's Substack, it's
Substack is
free.
great.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing, Stephanie, like, because YouTube is not reliable when it comes to sending out notifications. So typically what I do is whenever I schedule a video, I also send out a Substack. So with lives, you'll get the Substack like an hour to half an hour before the live in your email with a link. That's my way of being able to notify you. So if that's something you're interested in, join mine and Paula's Substack, and therefore we can notify you ourselves. So for anybody watching, if that's something you're interested in. So yeah, you guys, so I'm super excited. We're going to be making even better workout videos. We're in AYA space now, so it's a lot cleaner of a shot. It's a bigger space. We have professional lighting now, and now we have a professional body mic, and so it's going to make working out and the workout videos even cleaner and more crisp, and hopefully we'll be able to do more live workouts that way as well. And so, yeah. So anything else you want to say, the good news before we get into like the sad news?
Yeah, just some great new workouts, and I'm working on some new meditations to be uploaded. I'm also working on creating some tapping videos and going to be uploading them soon to Fusion Body Studio, because tapping is something, it's called emotional freedom technique, EFT/tapping for anybody who doesn't know, and it's just tapping different parts of the body, different acupressure points, and you just say, usually start off with the negative of something that you're trying to work through, and then you move on to something positive. And it's helped me so much in the last probably 10 years since I've learned about tapping. So I really want to, I'm going to be doing a live call with our members later on this month. I just need to double check the time with Bryce, but I will be doing that at the end of the month, just discussing about tapping, how it works, how to do it, and how it's helped. And so I'm going to be sharing some tapping videos on Fusion Body Studio as well, just for anybody that has anything in particular that they want to work on, whether it might be money issues or being consistent, or sometimes we need help with addictions or working through things like that. Anything really. Tapping can help with anything. And any of my meditations, if you have any requests, please let me know. And because Bryce and I love getting requests, we really want to do what can help you guys. So as well, and any exercise requests, please let me know, because I will only put my favorites up unless you tell me what you're up.
So people get shy about that, I think, sometimes, Paula.
They do. Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm here to serve you. Like, this isn't about me, it's about you. And so tell me what you're struggling with.
My favorite's flush and restore. I love the flush and restore.
Do you? Yes, we don't get that a lot. I don't get, so yeah, the flush. And I just realized, Paula, even before we get into the heavy stuff, the lead up to the heavy stuff, I have cut some new members on my channel. So for the replay crew, you might not know that I have another business. This is what I do for a living, because YouTube ain't it. This is my beautiful business partner and one of my besties, Paula. Empowered Spirit Healing is her YouTube channel, so I'm going to link that below after the live is over. And we are partners, and we're girl bosses. So we have started an online fitness boutique. It's been a little bit over a year since we've opened it, and I'm going to share it on screen, Paula, so we can just show people who might be new to my channel that they can see. So we have this this awesome fitness boutique online, and so we have all these different exercise classes right here that you can go through. We've organized them. So there's the flush and restore that Paula likes, different times. Here's the live classes. My friend Cindy, she's going to be doing more classes, somatic healing, specialty exercises. This is the exercise video I just created with the chair for people. Yeah, we're going to do a specialty. We just create a playlist for people who have particular issues going on. So if you have an issue going on and you don't know how to confront exercise with a particular limitation, just email me or Paula, let us know, and I will create a workout like I did for Jenny. I'll create a whole workout around it for you specifically. You know, Vinyasa Flow walking workouts, working out with Todd, post-workout meditations. If you go for a run, we have that here with you. Little Alchemist, so your children. That's the first level, which is just exercise only. But then we have a second tier that's $25 a month, which is super cheap. But then we have a second tier, which includes a lot of the courses. So for people who want to understand about exercises, spirituality, the second tier covers the first tier with the exercises on top of all. We're loading up the Ashtanga Yoga beginner course, academics of spirituality, Vedic chanting with Todd, Paula's hypnotic meditations, your quantum healing. We have forbidden interviews. We just finished up with my friend Tiffany. That was an amazing interview, wasn't it?
That was so good. Yeah.
Yeah. Monthly live calls. We have that here as well. That was a great call. The inner peace one, lifestyle. It's a new one that we're working on now with dietary needs and just lifestyle stuff, cooking recipes. We also have all these workshops, 10-day shadow work challenge, Ashtanga yoga course, all the healing here. Everything's here as well. And so we have so much here for you guys. We really want to make this a, almost like it's a way, it's our service to the, I mean, this is what I do offline. This is what Paula does offline. And the fact that we have this beautiful thing called the internet means that we don't have to do this in person only. And so that's my goal. We are a fitness boutique, but again, and as we're going to talk about today, the spiritual perspective, I've spent years in India before I was ever on YouTube. Never thought I would end up on YouTube, but I spent years in India studying traditional yoga. Now, traditional yoga is very, very, very intense. It's not like the yogas you see, the cute little yogas you see here in the West. And it's not, you know, we do have the Ashtanga beginner course, which is my lineage, but I've taken all of that information of the body, the mind, the soul, all that's working together, fusing together in that practice. And I've now put that information into more modern day exercises like bar, like, you know, walking videos, restore and flush, cardio dance. I've taken all that information, and that is actually way more accessible to the average person who, you know, most people aren't going to want to go to India and put their leg behind their head, right? Most people, you can get this, only us crazy people do that. You can get the same nourishment and the same potency in a bar class, in a walking class, because exercise is the foundation of spirituality. That's the one thing that the East has told us over and over and over and over again, is that moving your body, moving your life force. And so we are going to be, obviously we're refining it, we're getting it better and better, but we want to help people as much as we can maintain their sovereignty, you know, throughout all of time in third density, where we are now, that we live in a third density reality, but especially now how important it is, because they've done so much. The same group that we see in these emails is the group that's distorted spirituality, that's created the inversion of it, where they try to teach us in the bullshit new age. So new age would be the bullshit inverted. No one in India calls it new age. Like, that's never uttered out of anybody's lips. You know, that's not a thing. But they've created this new age to make you feel like spirituality is, I'm actually going to have to delete this comment because I don't want YouTube to, that could actually get our channel. So I'm sorry, I'm having to delete that comment because it's going to get our channel. That could flag our channel. So just be careful about what you guys put in the comment section. I know it's not fair, but just make sure. Hello. We've got some awesome people. Shocked people are here so early.
I know, it's amazing. Everyone got up early to talk to us. How awesome.
Right. And so we Paul and I, our main goal is to help people embody the spiritual experience, which is not, the new age movement is kind of giving you a false reality. The toxic positivity, the fact that you have to be like opening your third eye or your out of body experience and all this, that's not what spirituality.
We want to bring you the real spirituality.
My friend Cindy, who is on the yeah, that's fine. This is fine. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. That's fine. But other stuff, we have to be careful because YouTube could flag this, and we have to play the game in order to talk about the game. We can't get ourselves completely just taken down and not talk to, you know, so we have to be very, very careful in this negotiating this sensitive topic. But yeah, with true spirituality, you are going, Yeah, absolutely. Hello, hello. We know who that is. So, um, um, so we want to help people. Like, it's actually, Paula, the funny thing is, Todd and I talk about this all the time. Real spirituality is a whole hell of a lot simpler, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It
You just
is.
got to be human.
Yeah. You just got to be present, be
Yep.
grounded. Yeah.
And face
Which
yourself.
it's so simple that it's actually hard.
And that's why exercise becomes the great force of spirituality, because nothing is going to keep you in the moment with your body than when you're uncomfortable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's what exercise is. It's that controlled demolition. We're not looking for Olympic athletes. Now, of course, if you are super athletic or, have done sports in the past, you might have to up your spiritual exercise. But if you're a beginner or 30 minutes, you're as long as you're sweating and you're finding that resistance and you get to a point where you're a little bit miserable, then that's when you've hit the juice of the real potency of working within your body. And that's the mind's reaction to it. But we're also looking at, so many people, Paula, talk about chakras, but they don't talk about the bandhas, and the chakras can't live without the bandhas. Right. And so bandhas are that strength, that lock in the perineum that will pull the energy up through the chakras. If there's no energy to come into the chakras, then the chakras are just gonna whoosh. Thank you so much. Just hit the like button and you can. I'm so bad about telling people that. and share, share this if you can. So thank you. I'm so bad about that. So that's why and then we look at life, what it's like to be, we have this horrible thing, Paula, called toxic positivity. For our audience who's never heard of toxic positivity, will you explain that to our audience of what that is?
I mean, to me, toxic positivity, and it's been very emphasized by the whole law of attraction, The Secret, when this movie The Secret came out, and it just was a big craze. And I've felt for a very, very long time that I do believe in the law of attraction and that like attracts like, but that's only part of a huge range of universal laws. And to just pick one out, it's like with the human body when doctors try and treat our human body like it's a machine. And it's just like, oh yeah, you've got an issue with your head, you're getting headaches, we'll just deal with the head. It doesn't work like that. It's your whole body, and it's emotions, it's physical, it's spiritual. There's a whole thing going on. So it's very much the same as, you can't just pick out the law of attraction and just get that to work for you without taking into consideration all the other universal laws. And so with toxic positivity, people are just focusing on the positive all the time. And that's not going to get you real breakthroughs. Unfortunately, I'm really learning that it's when we have the dark night of the soul moments, it's when we work with our shadow, it's when we're working with those parts of ourselves that we've rejected and that we don't like, and learning to love them and to bring them into the light. That is where true healing and power happens. And it's just amazing. Like, it can be so uncomfortable to work through, but once you get through that, the changes in your life are just absolutely incredible. And one thing I love about healing work is that you're not only affecting yourself, but you're affecting the people around you. You're affecting your ancestral line. If you're healing issues that you have that have been passed down from your parents and aunties and uncles and grandparents, you're actually affecting your children and the people around you. Like, it's just, it expands. And I think, that's how we are going to make changes in the world, is actually by going within and healing ourselves. And having to be positive all the time, that's not normal. We actually need our negative emotions because they give us power. Having a healthy amount of anger gives us power, because it's like, okay, that's not okay. Injustice is happening. We need to do something about it. So we need that anger to fire us up. It's just, you've got to be careful to not turn it into toxic anger when you just go too far and you're just holding on and you're letting it rule your life, because there are plenty of people out there that just let anger control them.
And I find the people that are in that situation, it's because they're trying so much to suppress it that it just keeps and gets worse. And the thing too, like what you're saying, is like, when you go into toxic positivity and all just law of attraction, you're disassociating from something pretty major, and that's called karma.
Yeah.
And so karma is not what people in the Western world think it is. Like, you know, we think of karma as something bad in the Western world, and it's not. Karma is simply your work. It's cause and effect. That's karma by its nature is neither negative nor positive.
Yeah.
We put our own human emotions on.
Yeah, we put those labels on it.
Yeah, it's all it is. And in a polarized world, which we like it or not, third density is polarized. That's the point. We have a day and when we have a night, right? We have a north and a south, an east and a west, a man and a woman. We have all these polarities we're working with. And that's called an opposing force. An opposing force is what creates friction. That's the spark of light. So if we didn't have the yin to the yang, we would never grow in that wisdom. And that wisdom is growing pains are uncomfortable. And it's interesting because even in like the missing books of the Bible, so Magdalene's Gospel, which we've done on my channel years ago, one of the most profound teachings from Magdalene is the wisdom of the wrathful person. That's how she stated it, the wisdom of the wrath, and much that what you're saying, that anger is important.
Yeah.
Because anger is what inspires change.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about vigilante violence versus law and order and all that kind of stuff. But we have the first rule, the first yama. So the yamas and the niyamas in the Yoga Sutras are basically kind of like the 10 Commandments. They're kind of like ethical rules to live by in the outer world and within the inner world. So the yamas are in the outer world. So the first yama is something called ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-violence. Now, what does it mean to be non-violent in a spiritual landscape? Well, it's not what a lot of people in the West think it is. And Patanjali's pretty clear about this. Non-violence basically means you don't throw the first punch. Yeah. To allow somebody to hurt you, to allow somebody to walk all over you, that is himsa, which is violence. Ahimsa is non-violence. So when you stand up for yourself, your family, you protect, that is also acting in nonviolence because you're stopping it, right? So like having these for self-defense, that would be along the lines of ahimsa because you're using it for self-protection. A lot of times in the New Age world, again, they twist this and they make it like you have to almost be like a doormat and let people just walk all over you or just ignore. And that's not what Patanjali meant when Patanjali picked his words very carefully. If he wanted you to disassociate, if he wanted you just to remain blissful, he wouldn't have picked the word nonviolence and been specific that it meant you don't throw the first punch. But if you need to fight back, you fight back and you defend yourself.
But that's also true love. True, real love is standing up for when you truly love yourself, you will stand up for yourself and you will set healthy boundaries and you will not let people push you around. And that is exactly the same with, in the real world not the real world, but, in the actual physical world as well, you need to stand up for yourself and set healthy boundaries because otherwise people walk all over you. And I personally feel like we have all been conditioned from a very young age to it's become a real syndrome, a real problem where so many of us are people pleasing, men and women. And it's because we're taught to listen to our parents. Of course, you need to listen to your parents and because your parents are trying to, keep you safe. But then we're going into a classroom and we're sitting there and we have to listen and we have to do as we're told and we have to follow the rules and we have to put our hand up if we want to go to the toilet and we have to refer to our teachers as Mrs. and Mrs. And there's just so much. We all have to wear the same uniform and we're just being so programmed constantly to be pleasant, to be good, to do as you're told, to be nice, just, just never mind, it's okay, just pretend it didn't happen. And the more we're doing that, it's just so we're easy to control. All
right, for girls, what's the worst when you're a little girl on the playground and a boy is picking on you and your parents say it's because he likes you?
Oh, I know.
That's setting your daughter up.
I'm guilty of that too, because I don't know, I didn't know what else to say to my kids. So I just used to say that too. And now I'm like, no.
So haul back and punch him. That's the, and that's even when we talk about ahimsa too, we look at even the realm of working out. Practicing ahimsa means doing the hard workout because you're facing the hard stuff to take care of yourself. It doesn't mean disassociating, saying, well, I don't like working out. Who likes working out? I don't like working out. Like, I don't know anybody who actually likes it. We do it because of it takes care of us, and it helps us face the reality. Like, we didn't come here to planet Earth to eat bonbons and watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. This is not a vacation. We came here because of karma. Because of karma is a refinement of the soul. It's the friction. I always say, a match has everything, like one match has everything it needs to light itself, but it cannot light itself on its own. What has to happen? It has to be struck against a matchbook. Like, I have a lighter here for my candles. Everything in this lighter can do a light, a flame, but it can't do it on its own. I have to actually create the friction for that flame, that light to ignite. And so that friction, it kind of hurts your thumb a little bit. Like, that is what's happening when you face the darkness, when you sweat, when you go into yourself, is you're facing. And that's the thing about like the shadow work. What's the greatest disinfectant in the world? Light. So when you actually pull up, and my friend Cindy talks about this all the time, your lower chakras, Muladhara up to Manipura, the three here, these are your, yes, very much an early chat, Toby, early for us, late for Paula. But the three lower chakras, Muladhara all the way up to Manipura, those are your chakras of humanity. This is your humanity. Everything up here is your spiritual life. But in the sense that spirit is what you always are, but in this moment, you're being asked to be a human. So what does that mean? It's not about the third eye in this life. It's about the three lower chakras. And that's the story of the resurrection, of the phoenix rising, right? Is being able to drop down into the hell of your existence in order to come back up again, to bring the energy back up again. And what I always tell people too, absolutely friction is the catalyst for growth, 100%. So we have that, and we're going to talk about the three karmas in a minute, because as inside, so outside, as above, so below, like what we go through within our own friction is also what happens collectively too, which we're going to get to. And so when we look, I tell people all the time, one of my favorite, when we went through the Emerald Tablets on my channel a few years back, one of my favorite parts about the Emerald Tablets was when Thoth said, you only know life right now because you know death. When we're just in spirit form, when we're not in our physical bodies, we don't know death because we don't die. So because we don't know death, we don't know life. And because we don't know life, we can't create as spirits, as just purely spirits. We have to come into a mortal body with a timeline, with an expiration date, in order to experience the power of creation. And so we know this, we see this in the chakras, because where is your chakra of creation? It's not up here. It's your second chakra. It's in your navel. That's we always say that's where, make babies. That's all, but it's also, it's not just the hokey chakra.
It's all kinds of creativity. It can be any kind of creativity. Business,
that power,
work, artistic.
That feeling you have in your gut when you listen to a beautiful song, or you look at a beautiful painting, or you dance, that's coming from that second, that's down here. It's not up here, it's down here. And that's why that chakra exists within the humanity, because it's not in the spiritual cycle, it's in the humanity cycle. And so it's so important to be able, another thing too about energy is going to stress that comes, yeah, well, see, I would say, that's a different type of friction. And that's a friction that I would suggest you get maybe some support from, and that's the thing, like, don't put yourself in a situation where you're taking abuse because you think it's helping you grow. No, when I had a narcissistic ex too, like you need to definitely.
A lot of us have, and it seems to be very prevalent these days. But, for me, I feel like these people have come into our life for a very, very important reason. And they are just mirroring what's going on inside of us. And I know, because I grew up with a narcissistic mother, and then I've had narcissistic relationships as well. But you know what? I'm grateful that I've had those relationships, even though they haven't always been pleasant. They weren't exactly nice. But without them, I would not have become who I am today. And so, I don't like to look at them. I don't like even using that term anymore. and I'm not trying to say anything against your comment at all. I'm not putting you down, but I just feel like that term is overused these days. And the reason why I don't like using it is because it puts us into a victim mentality. I remember reading this one book about covert narcissists. And I was getting through the book. I was really excited about it because I was like, yes, this is going to help me to heal this. And so I won't attract narcissists into my life anymore. Seriously, that book, I was fuming by the end. Like, I got halfway through it and I was like, I'm not reading this anymore. It was disgusting. It just completely disempowered women and made them out to be a victim. We are not victims, okay? We attract, sorry, I'm getting a little bit fired up. It's just because I've dealt with this so much in my life. This has been a huge thing for me. And at one point, I felt like I'm going to have to cut everyone out of my life because they're all showing narcissistic traits, until I realized that, no, we actually need to go within and we need to look at, okay, where am I showing up like this? Am I showing up as selfish? Am I neglecting my children, or am I neglecting other areas of my life? Am I neglecting myself? Am I being cruel and unkind to myself? We need to go within to heal these issues. And then when we heal them, people around us start to show up differently, or they disappear from our life.
I will second, and okay, so this is this is the shadow work, right? This is when a lot of us have the propensity to attract narcissists, and I know it sounds cliche, we could always trace it back to the patterns we learned as children. So I was taught growing up subconsciously, that in order to experience love, there has to be abuse. There has to be verbal and emotional abuse. That's what love is. It's subconscious. Hearing it saying out loud, I know that's not true, but it's subconscious. And so I was attracting men that did that to me. And I thought that love was, passion and fighting. And then I heard something once where, no, that's toxicity. A healthy relationship is when you are when it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And actually when I had my narcissistic ex actually tried to unalive me one night. I had to call, this years ago, I had to call the 911. I did everything wrong. I found evidence of cheating and I confronted him, and you're not supposed to do that with a malignant narcissist. And this happened. And so I went through trauma therapy after that had happened, and I did EMDR therapy, which really helped my brain. And I knew after taking some time to work on myself, that's when I met Todd after that. And I always laugh, like, we're the most boring couple to ever exist. I mean, he bird watches. Like, his favorite thing to watch show-wise is the weather app. So, but I'm secure because not a lot of, we have disagreements, but there's no fights. Like, we don't, it's just a partnership. And I realized, Paula, what you're saying is, like, I attracted Todd after I had figured it out and after I had faced myself.
Exactly. And so to the lady, I'm assuming lady, who wrote that comment, like, please keep working on yourself, and things will change, or that partner will just really back away. I mean, one ex-partner I have, he just does not even talk to me.
Right. Well, and because it's your baby daddy, because it's your baby daddy, I know you're going to have to deal with him for the rest. I would absolutely. I know there's a lot of like, suspicion around therapy, rightfully so. But there are good therapists out there. I had a really good therapist. And if you find someone, and we can do the best to help you on Fusion Body as well. We're not therapists, though. Our perspective comes from a different angle. But I would tell you, if you find a good therapist, combined it with working out, because working out is going to absolutely pull it up, because we store, the mind, when we have thoughts or emotions are also thoughts. It always logs in the body, always. And so if there's something that we are doing over and over and over again, like a broken, Millie's agreeing, like a broken record, right? Like, we have these patterns that just keep showing up in our life, So there's some thought, there's some attachment or limiting belief that we have that we might not even be aware of. It's subconscious, but we know it's happening. We just don't know where it is. Well, when you go to work out, that's going to start to come up, because it's like opening the filing cabinet, right? And then if you combine that with talk therapy, with stuff like that, you can find really great where you start to change. And so, Absolutely. Yeah. Good, Kim. He does try to avoid you. That's
Perfect.
good.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what you want to do. And Kim, can I just say as well, one of the most powerful things for me has been working with somebody that can help work through these beliefs that we have in our subconscious mind that we're not even aware of. And so for me, that's been a kinesiologist. I'm not saying that you have to see a kinesiologist. There are so many different types of things out there. There's like different times of healing. There's hypnosis. There's so many different things that you can do. But with something like kinesiology, it's going to find the core issue. It's going to find those core beliefs that are causing us to attract people like that are treating us that way. And that's how we can clear it really, really powerfully. Because, I mean, I do agree that talk therapy is amazing as well, but often we don't always aware of what's going on in the subconscious mind. Sometimes we're only finding.
And that's and my therapist like loved, she also promoted exercise too, because like the kinesiologist, it's going to pull things up in the body. And also, I mean, Tamara, for those who have been on this channel,
Tamara's amazing as well.
Yeah, this is what she does for a living. She helps people break their belief system. And so you guys can check out her website. She's here on my channel all the time. And she helps you with your own specific, everybody has their own patterning. I'll tell you something she said to my boyfriend a few weeks back, because my boyfriend's been going through his own dark night of the soul with some realizations about how he was raised. And it's been hard for him, but it's been amazing for our relationship. Has gotten so much better because he's aware. And he has one parent that was very controlling. And he doesn't want to be like that parent, but he mimics that parent. Like he does things like that parent a lot. Like he's aware, but he doesn't know why he's doing it. And Tamara said something that was just so like common, like duh when she said it, but it was so groundbreaking too. She goes, "Oh, that's because that parent always won the cookie." And what she meant by that, when you're a little child and you are so dependent upon your parents, you're totally dependent on your parents for your survival when you're a child.
Yeah.
And so you see the one parent who always wins, who's in charge. They're the ones you start to mimic subconsciously because they won the cookie. They're the ones surviving. Yeah. Everybody else is submitting to them. And so it's a subconscious thing. And so once Tamar said that to him, it was like, we have a Sanskrit word it's called prativa. It's my favorite Sanskrit phrase, prativa. And it means a flash of illumination, like a light bulb moment. Aha. Those moments where you hear something and then everything changes because you get it. When Tamara said that to him, Todd, it was a prativa moment. He started to become aware, even more aware of his actions and why he was doing that. And so he's been able to start to reprogram himself. And Tamara said that's common. A lot of people come to her they know they're behaving like a parent that they don't want to be like. And they don't know why they keep doing it. And she's like, because when you were a little child, that parent was the one that was in charge and your survival depended on that parent. So you learn to survive by acting like them. Yeah. And so for like those of us who accept narcissists into our lives, we've somewhere along the way, we watch somebody else accept narcissistic abuse to keep the peace. And so we've learned subconsciously that to keep the peace, we have to just take it. And that's not ahimsa. That's not nonviolence. And so you do not need to live that way. It's going to take hard work though, isn't it, Paula, to like face your own inner demon?
Yeah, it's difficult, but that's why having somebody supportive to work with. And if you're in a financial situation where you can't afford to work with somebody one-on-one, because I was like that for quite some time as well, on Fusion Body Studio, I've got a quantum healing course, which just kind of goes through and just explains some of the ways that you can work through to break through those beliefs that you've got. And that's really, really, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Jennifer. So I did want to just bring up, Jennifer's just reminded me, I did want to bring up, obviously we're meant to be talking about the Epstein emails and how it's affecting us and how we can kind of deal with this. So, I mean, I know for a lot of us that are on our channels are already probably familiar with so much that's going on. We kind of don't feel the need to read so much. I mean, I've been listening to some of the things that have happened, and all of them have the details have not been pleasant to hear, but also not surprising, because a lot of us have already been awake to this stuff for quite a few years now. Some of us for a really, really long time, like Todd. But what we want to do is just kind of just help explain some things, and basically just help understand why this is happening in the world right now. And I do feel, so like Jennifer was saying, that, have you heard of the Franklin scandal before, Bryce?
Sounds familiar. Refresh my memory.
So apparently it happened in the 80s under the Reagan administration. And I think it's basically a repeat of what's happening. And it's just interesting, because I feel like if we look back, I mean, there's been so many clues about what's going on right now that have happened. I mean, there was the childcare.
Yep. The satanic panics.
Yeah.
Wiki. I mean,
I wasn't sure what words to use, but there's been repeats of this kind of stuff, and the Franklin scandal was very similar to what's going on right now. And I feel like they keep coming up, but each time it's getting deeper and deeper and heavier and heavier. And I feel like these email release has come up because we're ready as a collective to kind of take this on. And it's about us basically facing our shadows, because what's been going on behind the scenes with these elites, not that they're elites at all. I think somebody said to stop calling them elites and call them deletes. And I was like, oh, I like that. That's funny. But basically what's going on is this is our shadow that we need to face. We can't keep, putting this in the darkness anymore. We have to bring it to the light, and it's going to be uncomfortable, just like when you're exercising and working out, just like when you're doing your personal shadow work. But this is shadow work for the whole world, for the whole collective. And it's coming up again. And it's like, are we going to do something this time?
Are we going to do about darkness? If you ignore it, it just gets worse and worse and worse. It just snowballs and worse and worse and worse. Yeah. And so I want to talk about that brings up the three types of karmas.
Yeah, the 3 types of karmas.
So we have 3 types of karmas. Every single person watching right now, from the beginning of time, we all have 3 different karmas that we're working with. Mm-hmm. So what is karma again? Karma is simply cause and effect. It's polarity. That's all it is. Every single human being, every single soul, according to the spiritual teachings, came to earth. We're not here on a mission. We're not here to save anyone. We're here to work through our karma, plain and simple. And that karma is powerful. It's not something to be ignored, because that's how we polish. That's why Ram Dass's book is called Polishing the Mirror. We're polishing our soul. We're using that friction. How do you clean gold? You boil it so that the impurities come to the top, so you can wipe them away, right? So the 3 karmas that we're working with are our own personal karma. So karma from this life, which, past lives trickle into this life. So we're healing it from the perspective of this life. If it doesn't get fixed in this life, it's just going to come back bigger in the next one, right? And then we're working with our familial karma. So stuff we inherit, that we choose when our soul takes on a life through our parents' bloodlines. We're looking at familiar patterning that are coming, cycles, as Jennifer said, that are coming in that our soul chose to work on personally. Yeah. And then we've got the collective karma, which is the karma of the world. And the Jeffrey Epstein emails are a big example of collective karma. Yeah. So what does this mean? Now, you're going to have some people say, well, just don't talk about it because it's, we don't want to bring attention to it. Yes, we do. Because pulling it into the light is what disinfects it.
Exactly.
And we have to.
We signed up for this.
Yep.
We signed up for this. We all chose to be here at this particular time. We could have.
Collectively, this was the collective karma we all wanted to deal with. And so we have to do that. And so when it goes back to that whole ahimsa thing, so many people, and I'm really proud of all of the people on the TikTok streets and the Instagram streets that are like, guys, we can't vote ourselves out of this. Like, we have to. Now let's marry. I want to pull the Declaration of Independence up again, because this gives us a really good example of ahimsa in a very political way. But before we get into that, before I even pull it up, so according to Eastern philosophy, according to the Yoga Sutras, was like the manual for how to live in third density. this is something we all have to work through. We have to stand up. We have to protect these children. We have to use the wisdom of the wrathful person, acknowledge the anger, go and take a kickboxing class so we're not vigilante, because if we're vigilante, we're just creating more karma for ourselves, right? We want to respond. We don't want to throw the first punch. We want to defend, and we want to shut down. And so we have to do that in a very practical way. Now, with that being said, we're not going to, in my opinion, we're not going to deal with these deletes, these, as you said, as they say, these elite deletes, by unfortunately through the law, because they broke the law. I'm sorry, ingesting human flesh is against the law. What they're doing is so a lot of people are like trying to find themselves in the confines of a limited system when they're fighting is just outside of that limited system. Does that make sense? Again, I'm trying to watch my words too. And I was telling you, Paula, like free men and free women don't ask permission. We don't ask permission. And I know for the Americans, like one of the best things about the American Constitution, I think is brilliant anyway, but is our Second Amendment. So important. And I think anybody from another country right now who has had that human right, that's a human rights violation. To take this away from you so you can't defend yourself is literally a human rights violation. That's literally crimes against humanity. You have the right to defend yourself. You have the right to protect your home and family. If the government has these, so should you. Yeah.
And so many countries like Australia, it's just been taken away from us.
And it wasn't that long ago, was it, Paula, historically speaking, that they took it away from you?
Yeah.
I know that's what Ricardo Bozzi was saying. And look how quickly Australia fell into like a submissive country.
It really has.
Australians and Americans are very, very similar. I always feel like we kind of have the same mentality, but the Americans just have these. And so if the Australians, like, I don't care if it's against the law, get one. Like, free men don't ask permission. Do you want to be free or do you want to be enslaved? Being free is what's that quote? The truth is belligerent. Being free is belligerent. It takes courage to be free. It takes courage to not have the security of enslavement. Slaves had a house to live in. Slaves had food provided for them, but they weren't free.
Yeah.
You want to be a slave, and that's what's happening.
And that's kind of what it's like. Living in this modern life is like being a slave.
And I will say, I even though America is far from where it was when the Declaration of Independence was written, I will say I've had the luxury of living in multiple countries, traveling the world in America is that we are a whole hell of a lot freer than any other country. I mean, you feel it when you've been in America for a while. If you come and stay here, and you will feel the freedom that you have here. It's very different and a lot of that is because all of us have these. All of us do. So they try, but it hasn't worked. And so I want to pull up, I know, and I want to pull up for you guys the Declaration of Independence. This is such a good example of like a healthy spiritual perspective on what's happening right now with ahimsa, how we deal with this. And we know from Lou, if you guys are following over, we're doing a Lou lunch live today at noon on Todd's channel. Lou has said over and over again that the only country in the whole of third density, is the service to others, that's the positive polarity, is the United States of America. We're the only country on the planet that is service to others. Every other country, now I'm talking about government systems. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the government systems are all service to self, the dark polarity. America is the only one that is in the light. And that is because of the Declaration of Independence and because of the Constitution. Now, what are they trying to do in America? They're trying to teach us, our kids, that the Constitution is racist and all these things. It's not. If you actually read the Constitution, it's the opposite of that. It's the exact opposite. But that's what they do. They like to invert it, right? Because they're trying to destroy the one country that's service to others. What happens as much as America gets made fun of, when another country is under attack, who's the first country they scream for to help? America.
Yeah, true.
It's the first country they scream for to help them is America. You listen to our allies like the Australian military, the English military, the French military. There are so many videos up on, you can see these military men from other countries that have been in platoons with American soldiers, and they all say the same thing. If I have to be in a platoon with a soldier, I want it to be an American, because they will not abandon me. They practice no man left behind. They don't abandon people. They will save your ass. They will risk your life to save. And that speaks volumes, because the American military does not serve the president.
Mhm.
The American military does not serve a king or a queen. It serves the Constitution, which is the people. And so, with that being said, as they try to destroy the American Constitution, I'm going to go through, and I was telling Paula this off camera. I think the Declaration of Independence, excuse me, is one of the most brilliant things ever written. I have most of it memorized. And we start studying let me know, Americans in the chat, like I would say 4th grade. Is that the year you start studying this stuff through American history? At least for my generation, and probably older. Like this was, we did Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and go ahead, Americans, sound off in the chat. Like we really learn from a very young age to be very patriotic. We don't let our flag touch the ground. You never let the American flag touch the ground. My sister and I, whenever my parents would take our flag down to change it for a new one, we would have to stand outside and help them, and they would show us how to fold it. And they told us, you never let this flag touch the ground. And that story comes from the War of 1812. After we had won our independence from Great Britain, a few decades later, Great Britain was like, actually, I think we want to take you guys back because there's so many resources. And so Great Britain invaded America again. So this was like the Second American Revolution. And Francis Scott Key, the guy who wrote our national anthem, he was an attorney, and they sent him out to a British ship where a bunch of American men had been taken hostage. And he went to the ship to negotiate the release of the hostages. And while he was on the ship, he watched them like invade a fort. And this fort had like women and children in it. And Francis Scott Key sat there, and yes, absolutely. It starts in like the 4th grade, so like you're 8. So Francis Scott Key watched and had horror as all these, I don't know what I can say, weapon, were happening at this, it was lighting up the sky. It was at night, but it was lighting up the sky with all the artillery at this one fort. And as the sun rose, the flag was still standing. The American flag was still standing. And when he got off, it makes me emotional. When he got off the boat, he ran to the fort, and it was still standing because it was bodies of a bunch of patriots holding the flag up. And the people in the fort said that as they were being attacked, the only thing they said is, we cannot let that flag go. We cannot lower the flag. This is important. We need to be free. And as men would run and hold the flag and die, another group of men would come and hold it up. So it was literally standing by the body of patriots to protect freedom. That's how important freedom was to them. That's how important being free meant to our forefathers here. That's why I love this country so much. I feel so unbelievably lucky to be an American. And I'm so proud of our ancestors, and that they did not surrender. Americans are scrappy and courageous, and they do not surrender to these Kabbalistic, demonic monarchy baby munchers, we'll say. Like, they don't do that. We don't surrender. We don't surrender. It takes courage to be free. And that's what these people did. And that's why people in America take the national anthem so serious. And we don't let our flag touch the ground ever in the United States because of that. So I wanted to read this. And as I was saying to you, Paula, offline, is that when you look at it, they say we're the representative of the 13 colonies, because that was, so with the American flag, the 13 colonies are represented by the red and white stripes. Those are the original 13 colonies. Georgia's one of them. And then the stars are the 50 states.
Right.
So Georgia, so the 13 colonies have a stripe and a star. So that's what this flag means. And as we take on much more territories, new stars get added. So with the Declaration of Independence, they do say we're the representative of the 13 colonies. However, when they talk about the value of human life, they don't say American life, they say human life. So let's go through this, because this is what we need to know. And I'm hoping Pam Bondi, I did a video on this on Monday, but Pam Bondi, I hope you're watching this, because allegedly Pam Bondi said that they can't arrest everyone or else the whole system would collapse. But Pammy cakes, that's kind of the point. It's in the Declaration of Independence.
It needs to fall apart.
It needs to fall apart. Our forefathers said, if this shit gets out of hand, burn it to the ground.
Yeah, and I think what's been going on is out of hand.
It's out of hand. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. So in Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entail them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to separate. So basically, the first paragraph is saying, you guys have forced us our hand to dissolve our allegiances to you. So bring that to today. You're forcing us to dissolve any trust that we've had in you because of what is in these emails. Now, this is where it's really important. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is important. This is important. That to secure these rights, to secure the rights that all, what are the rights we're talking about? The unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's the right, that every human life matters. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about to secure the elite or to secure the monarchy. They're talking about the unalienable rights given to us by God, not by the government, that among these are life, liberty. So that to secure these rights, the government are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the governed. So what does that mean? That governments are instituted by the power of the people, and the governments are only powerful by the consent of the people, by the governed. So basically, our forefathers were like, the people own the government. And if the people don't consent to the people in government anymore, then the people have the right to dismantle that person. Now, this is where it's super important, that wherever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as they shall seem likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light or transient causes. But accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind is more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms by which they are accustomed. So basically, what is that saying? That is saying that we're not going to get rid of the government for stupid stuff, not for transient causes. But and that humans we do have this unique ability to be able to handle a lot of shit. That's what, they're saying here. But once it becomes too destructive, when the rights of humanity, when children are being carpooled, when this has become, it is not the right of the people, it is the duty of the people to burn that bitch to the ground. Yeah. That's what that's saying here. All right.
And I think, what's been going on, there are so many innocent people, men, women, and children, that have been treated so disgustingly as just playthings to these people. Yeah. And they're not getting their unalienable rights honored. And the thing is that we can't just keep turning blind eyes to these things and not thinking, oh, it's just another scandal and it will blow over and let's just get on with our lives, because this is never going to change. And, believe it or not, being a part of awakening is discovering these things. We're going through a disillusionment right now, because so many people have put our trust into the government and put our trust into all these systems that are in place. And right now, this is all falling apart But this is so important because this is part of an initiation for us to awaken up to what's been going on.
And to do what our forefathers, especially for the and for people who think the government are good. In what part in history has the government ever been the good guy? Since the beginning of time, what part have look back at the Roman Empire? Look, when have they ever been the good guys? And for the Americans who are still fast asleep, we are literally we were founded by a bunch of conspiracy theorists who were like, fuck the government. Basically, that's what this says. Like, human life is way more important. And listen,
and it is, yeah.
If the government gets out of hand and they are not honoring the inalienable rights given to that's the one right they're talking about here. That they're not talking about like your right to, grow farm, or they're talking about your right to life, liberty, and happiness, which basically covers everything. And if any of that is completely abused by the government, then it is not your right as not only your right as a people, but it's your duty. It's your sacred duty to burn that shit to the ground. Because in the United States, I think Pammy Cakes forgets that in the United States, the people are supposed to be in charge because we don't believe in a fucking monarchy. We think monarchy. That's why here in America, it's not Prince Andrew. It's just Andrew Mountbatten. That's why Andrew can't come to America, because he'll get fucking arrested, because we don't honor him as a monarchy here in America, because we don't believe it. Did you guys know that in America, for a sitting president to bow to monarchy is considered high treason?
Yeah, no, it's crazy, isn't it?
Like all of our presidents who have bowed to the monarchy should be hung, drawn, and quartered according to the Constitution.
Wow.
Because their duty is to represent the people, and we the people don't believe in monarchy. You're just Charles Mount. You're not King Charles III. You're Charlie Mountbatten. That's all you are. You're William Mountbatten. That's why Harry and Meghan, who moved here to America, rumor on the street is Harry hates it here because he's not a prince here.
And Meghan wants to be referred to as the Duchess all the time, and it's like, well, excuse me, you moved here, you've lost those titles.
You know what, Meghan? The Tooth Fairy doesn't exist either, right? We don't believe in these imaginary roles of king and queen. That's all stupid. Okay, pretty princess, go play the board game. Like, we don't believe that here. We believe all men, all humans are created equal. Mm-hmm. Equal. There's no such thing as divine right. Okay, and so let's so I'm not going to get into this, because then they go into what King George did to force their hand. And if you guys read it and you look at the things that the redcoats were doing to the colonists, I mean, Paula, it wasn't just about like tea. It wasn't just about people hiking a higher tax on tea and dumping the tea in the harbor. The British redcoats were literally coming into colonist houses and raping the women, stealing. It was, if you guys go back and watch Mel Gibson's The Patriot.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
That's what my favorite scene is, when they're looking for more recruits into the American Revolution. They go to like a bar, and they don't know if these are loyalists or if they're patriots, because it was the loyalists versus the patriots. And so Mel Gibson goes, there's only one way to find out. So he walked in, he was like, all hail King George III, and every single person stood up in the bar and cocked their pew.
Wow.
That's how much he was hated because of these injustices.
Yeah.
So the guy at the Atlanta airport, that TikTok of him freaking out, that's what was happening in the colonies. People were freaking the fuck out because it was like an Epstein, that was like the original Epstein issue. And so what did our forefathers do? They said, fuck this. We're dissolving our allegiance to you. As a world, we need to dissolve our allegiance to the Rothschilds, to Epstein. And so let's go. This is my favorite part. This actually makes me cry when I read the last part, when at the end, before they all signed it. Now, I want to let you guys know, the people who signed this were committing treason when they signed it against the king. Some of them did absolutely lose their lives for it. Others didn't. So this wasn't just some like fly-by-night thing they decided to do. And this is where we see it here in this last paragraph. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America and General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world, to God, the Supreme Judge of the world, for rectitude of our intentions, due in the name is capitalized, and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right, ought to be free and independent states. They are absolved from all allegiance to the British crown and to all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain, is and ought to be totally dissolved. And that as free and independent states, they have the full power. So see this as an individual person too, as free and individual people. That's why I say free people don't ask permission. This is where this comes from. Free and independent states, free and independent people, they have the full power. We have the full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract allies, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And this is where I get emotional. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, by the grace of God, they're saying, as we declare this, we know we're committing treason as we declare this, by the grace of God, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. They knew they were walking into certain death. And the only hope
they knew that this was, they had to do it.
They had to. They had to risk it. They pledged their lives to each other.
Yeah.
We pledge our lives, our fortune, and our sacred honor. People cared about honor back then. They cared about integrity back then.
Mm-hmm.
And they signed
and I think a lot of people do today as well. Mm-hmm. But people have just been so programmed by the way life is. And things have also gotten very comfortable for people. And this is all done by design. You know, this is no accident that all of this has happened. But the thing is that when something like this happens, it's actually helping to activate our moral consciousness. So it's helping to bring up that anger that we talked about before. It's helping to bring it up so that because we know that this is not okay, what's been going on, and we need to fight it. We need to not agree with this anymore. And just by ignoring it and continuing on, not talking about it. And, you know, they've distracted us so much with all these things going on at the same time, the Super Bowl and what else was it? The Grammys and everything else is all happening at the same time.
I can't believe people watch the Super Bowl. I'm like, I cannot believe people. And that's the thing. That's the right thing. Because think about the colonists. Think back to 1776. They had tried desperately to work with King George.
Right.
The whole line, taxation without representation is tyranny. That comes from them trying to plead with Parliament to be fair to the colonists. So they tried law and order. They tried. And finally they said, you know what? We're just going to dissolve. They didn't throw the first punch. They just dissolved it. And then they braced for impact. Mm-hmm. Basically, they said, you know what? They broke up. Like, we're not, it's not us. It's you. And we're breaking up with you. And then England came and broke into our house and tried to take us back. Right. Mm-hmm. So this is what we have to do. We have to be, that's that wisdom of the wrathful person. Is the Declaration of Independence not? I mean, that is the wisdom of the wrathful person, isn't it? That's an example of the wisdom of the wrathful person, what Magdalene was saying about. And I can't imagine how terrified those men were.
Oh,
when they finally signed that. There's famous paintings of them signing it. It's so funny. When I practiced in Philadelphia, go back because they were in Philadelphia when they signed it. That's where the capital was then at that point. I practiced across the street. I was in the historical district and across the street from where that was all signed. And so every day when I'd leave the Shala, I was facing where they signed the Declaration of Independence. Mm-hmm. And that's powerful as an American. Philadelphia is an incredibly fantastic, if you guys ever visit Philadelphia, they have an incredible historical different where you can see where all this took place. Okay. And so I would remind the Americans, and I'd also remind the Americans where the fuck we come from. We've done this before. We can fucking do it again. You've ran a marathon before. You can run it again. You've done a bar class before. You can do it again. Right? And for people of other countries, if the Americans could do it, if the scrappy colonists of the Americans can do it, what's stopping the Australians? What's stopping the English? What's stopping the French? Because in that Declaration of Independence, they didn't say that American life was given certain rights by their creator. They just said human life, all life.
And so everybody deserves to have a fair go.
Yeah.
And nobody should be being treated the way that they have been treated.
Yeah. Collective dark. Yes, we are absolutely in the DK is one of our students. We are absolutely in the collective dark night of the soul. Absolutely.
Oh,
And
100%. Yeah.
And it's necessary. It's necessary.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we need this because this is actually going to be triggering things in us that we need to heal. And it might sound silly, but I believe that one of the ways that we can help heal this is actually by healing ourselves, because this is a bit of an out there concept. But if you think about it, if you think about all of the parts of yourself that you have rejected, that you have maybe when you were a child and you had a bad experience and you got angry or you were terrified and part of you split off, where do those parts of you go? Those parts of your soul, where have they gone? Well, quite often those parts of ourselves can actually go out into the world and go into other people and affect, it's like attachments, you know, and it can affect other people. And so just think how many negative parts of ourselves that have not been loved and brought into the light are floating out there that need to be dealt with, that need to be reclaimed. So no wonder the world's a big mess full of all this horrible stuff, because it's up to us to bring those parts back to ourselves, to heal them and to bring them to the light and to love them.
We are sovereign. We are not. And when you bring the law of one into it, where we're making choices, are we going to be service to self or service to others? To agree to be enslaved is to go service to others, is to support the darkness.
Well, it's giving up on yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And to be like, you know, and that's when Pam Bondi made that statement. I was like, why aren't Americans now protesting? Because when Pam Bondi made that statement, it was obvious that she had never fucking read the Declaration of Independence, which we read in the 4th grade. Every American kid grows up knowing that the government better be scared, because we, the people, can dismantle you at any time we want.
Wow, we're so not taught that.
I mean, that is within our laws. Like this is actually not breaking the law. If we were to go to Washington and dismantle the government, that is not breaking the law. That's why, do you remember when Hurricane Helene hit North Carolina?
Yeah.
And all the FEMA directors were down there like stopping people from going to help their neighbors. And do you remember what happened?
Yeah.
A bunch of North Carolinian men, citizen arrested the FEMA, beat up the FEMA directors, handcuffed them and threw them on the ground and went and took care of it. Do you know what happened to those North Carolinian men for doing that?
Nothing.
You know why? Because they're constitutional right.
They're right. Yeah.
To do that. When the government is in the way, as the people, you remove the government because the people are in charge.
Yeah.
Again, let me reiterate those for the people in the back who didn't hear. Americans do not believe in a monarchy. Yeah. What's the difference between a totally in control government and a monarchy? Nothing. So when the government has too much power, we've entered into the realm of monarchy again.
Yeah, exactly. And they've just cloaked it. They've hidden it to make it seem like, you know, you have all these rights and freedoms, and really they're just
we got to go back. We need to strip it down. The Constitution is very simple. It's common sense. The Constitution of the United States is common sense. You have the right to say what you want. You have the right to believe what you want. You have the right to freedom of the press, and to support all those rights. Guess what? The second thing is you have a right to these. You're going to need one of these. Our Constitution abolishes slavery. It is one of the most humane. And throughout it, we see the government's not in charge. The people are. It's the people who are in charge. As the Declaration of Independence states, the people in power, Pam Bondi, Pammy Cakes, is only in power by the consent of the governed, by the consent of the people. And by her, if she really said that, then the people need to remove Pam Bondi.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't understand the rights of the people that she has been given permission to govern by the people. This is,
and I think we also need to be prepared that things can possibly get worse before they get better.
Absolutely.
Because like DK said, this is a dark night of the soul moment. So things are going to get uncomfortable. And realizing these truths. I mean, for a lot of us, we've already known about this for quite a few years, but bless you.
Right.
But for so many people that this is new to them, like, I mean, it's probably going to take some time to process. I also feel that it's probably going to take some time because there's just so many emails to go through. I mean, I know certain people, like I was listening to the Tucker Carlson and Ian Carroll interview today, and Ian Carroll's actually working on some kind of a research tool that's going to be for people to use to help just kind of zone in on certain topics and just to help with doing research for journalists and just for everyday people to do their own research, because it's just such a huge amount of content to go through. So it's probably going to take some time for things to get sorted through, to group things together and to try and understand exactly what was happening before certain things can. I mean, I'm sure there's certain arrests that could have already have happened by now.
Oh, you actually see that in the emails. I've read through them that there were the FBI, they had warrants for like the Clintons arrest, and they were stopped from. So there were arrests that were going to be. And I will say too, like, what's something simple we could all do to stop this? What if we all just swore our sacred vows to each other to not pay taxes anymore?
Yeah.
Can they arrest the whole world?
Stop doing that. Yeah.
What if everyone in Australia stopped paying their taxes? What if everyone in the United States stopped paying their Canada stopped paying? What if we all pledged to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor, as they said, and just didn't do that?
Yeah.
They would fall apart overnight across the world.
Yeah, exactly. It would.
So like, there's simple things you can do. Now, I want to say too, because DK reminded me, let's go about Sergey Monast, who is from the same. Yeah, it is absolutely chipping away at it. I spent hours on the DOJ website the other day just going through photos and but Sergey Monast, who was a French Canadian like us, and he was threatened over and over and over again because he was exposing all these things in the 90s. And I'm going to pull up the Declaration of Independence again. This is what Sergey Monast did. Free and independent states, free and independent people, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract allies, establish commerce, and do all their acts and things which independent states may have right to do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, fortunes, and our sacred honor. That's what Sergey Monast did. He pledged his life. He gave his life. They took him out, but he kept going. Every threat he got, his children got taken from him. They did everything to that man, and they finally unalived him. But you know what's happening? As true with the Declaration of Independence, so half of the guys that signed it, so the signatures, you guys, are right down here. These are all the signatures of all the men who signed it. Some of them you'll recognize, like Thomas Jefferson, but a lot of them lost their lives. You can look up every single person here and see the fate that they, George Washington's here. Or George Walton, sorry, not George Washington. You have John Hancock. This is the famous signature right here, John Hancock, because it's really big, really big signature. So people say, "Give me your John Hancock. Give me your John Hancock." That's because he signed it really big. You know, he signed it with his whole chest, right? So you can. So that's what Sergey Monast did. The more they threatened him, he kept going. Was he scared? Damn straight, he was scared.
Yeah, I bet.
He talked a lot about God. But he kept going. So Sergey Monast, my Canadian friends, the Canadian patriots, Sergey Monast was your Paul Revere. Sergey Monast was your George Washington. The redcoats are coming. The story of Paul Revere. The redcoats are coming. The redcoats are coming. That's what Sergey Monast was doing. The redcoats are coming.
We need people like that. That's so important.
And I'm sure you can find that all through different countries of men and women who gave their lives for the same thing the founding fathers of America did.
Yeah.
They were willing to do that. We have to be willing. And this is the thing. This is what gets me with the truther community. We've said this from the beginning. So the truther community and conspiracy theorists are two different things. These are two different things.
Yeah.
What have they been telling the truthers for all these years, Paula?
Just follow the plan.
It's all a
White hats
movie.
are going to save you. Yeah, it's all a
The white hats are
movie.
going to save you.
Nothing's coming to save us. We have to say we are the white hats. We are
the white hats. That's facing your okay, let's bring it down to exercise again, because the body, can someone lose weight for you?
No.
Can someone get stronger for you? Can someone do your shadow work for you?
No. You have to do all of that yourself.
And I'm going to remind the truther Americans, like, everything you believe in the truther world is the exact opposite of the American way of life. To believe that somebody is going to bring you money, to believe that someone's going to bring you a med bed, that's communism.
Well, I mean, the other thing you have to think about is, yes, those things might be given to you and that might be lovely, but at what cost?
Well, that's what my mother used to tell us. So my mother, I come from a long line of Republicans, and both parties are dirty. But I remember when my mother we were children, we'd ask my mom, like, what's the difference? What's the difference? And she'd say, well, the Democratic Party, they want more government. They want more taxes and more, nanny state. And Republicans, they want less government. They want less taxes. They want smaller. And she goes, and that's why I vote Republican, is because I don't want the government. As an American, we don't believe that we don't believe in a welfare state. Being free means no money from the government. It means, no, you got to do it yourself. And that's what my mother would say. My mother would say, here's the thing, because she goes, it sounds nice. It sounds nice having somebody give you money. It sounds nice. But my mother would say, if you allow somebody to take care of you, then guess what? You've allowed them to control you.
Yeah. And your freedom is taken away from you.
Your freedom is taken away from you. And so we have to understand that. We have to So for the truthers who think that this is not a movie, absolutely. This is real. This is why we're here, to work through this. And
the truthers are liars because they've all been planted there to help distract us and to confuse us.
They're too busy trying to figure out who has a wiener and who doesn't. That's not.
Yeah. And is that going to help us in our everyday life?
And they think that everyone's already been arrested. Well, to the American truthers, I'm going to beg you to go back and reread the American Constitution. Now, actors are a different story because they could be private citizens. But if a politician is arrested, the first people that have to be notified are who? The people. If a government agency comes in and arrests a politician in the United States, has a trial, executes them, they have broken the Constitution because the people are in charge. They've taken the right of the people away from them once again. They've usurped the right of the people. So what the truthers are promoting is the same usurping of government that the normies are promoting with all of these. Oh, and all the stuff that's coming out in the Epstein about these.
Oh, wow. I haven't even got to that yet. I've just been too busy learning about. So somebody emailed us today, which was very kind of them, to Fusion Body Studio, and they told us about Mind Unveiled has released a fascinating video called, I think it's called the AI Babies or something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's Mind Unveiled. We'll share the link in the description below. But fantastic video. I listened to it today. It's about 40 minutes and just discusses basically, well, because he'd listened to the Tucker Carlson interview with Ian Carroll, and Tucker Carlson had basically said, well, can somebody out there, kind of bring up this issue about, because nobody's really talking about all this genetic stuff that's going on. Like what is with all of this? And so Mind Unveiled did a great deep dive into that. It's absolutely fascinating. And it's just crazy. All this stuff that, like, it's like, what are they trying to do? That it wasn't just
creating. So people talk, and for people who have an infertility, I think intrathecal fertilization, IVF, is really good for people. But there is because now you can design your child, right? You can pick what genetics for your child. You can pick the sex.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That just doesn't.
It's weird, isn't it? Like your child should be born the way they need to create their body, not.
No, I just think, well, God's gonna.
God, yeah. Every single day, every single part of your existence, how you look, your prakriti, your nature is designed by karma anyway. for whatever.
Exactly. So it's like you're manipulating your own karma.
Like that's not
and what cost is that going to come at as well?
More karma, right? And so I just with the pokety pokes, as far as what the emails are, I don't want to scare anybody. It is a depopulation agenda. If you got a pokety poke, you definitely need to seek medical help immediately, like today, from a doctor that you trust or a holistic healer you trust, because we're about to look at a huge.
I had thought that for the last few years that's what was for.
Me too.
But don't people like there are ways to detox it out of your
don't panic. This is the truth you need to hear, though.
Thanks for joining us, Judith.
Yeah. Tiffany, who we just did an interview with Tiffany on Fusion Body. If you guys are on Fusion Body and you haven't checked out that interview with Tiffany, she's been working with people. You can find healers, holistic healers that can help you detox. But you absolutely, if you got the pokety poke, you absolutely need to be detoxing, because if you read those emails.
And zeolites are very good for helping to move the things out of your body.
And I'm going to say something too for exercise. If you got the pokety poke, generally speaking, the best immediate detoxer is cardio, because it flushes your blood and your oxygen. However, if you got the pokety poke, it targets the heart.
Yeah. And
so I would say for detox with exercise, you need to be focusing on anaerobic, which is not cardiovascular. It's more like yoga, bar. Be very mindful of that, because that's what it targets. Normally it's healthy to get the heart rate to rise up. But if you've been given basically they call them an unaliving shot, is what it's referred to. So,
but they set it up so that everyone, even people that haven't had the shot, are still.
We're getting some of the part, but we're not near as controllable as the ones who got it. So, and there was actually in Australia, one of your was actually said that they need to hold that. Basically, she called it what it is in the emails. That lady that wore the one that's been running amok in your parliament in Australia. I love her.
Oh, Pauline Hanson.
She's amazing. Yes.
Oh my God, I love Pauline Hanson.
She's the spirit of that's the spirit of the Declaration of Independence.
Yes.
I shared this.
I wish that she every year, every election, she never gets far enough up, and it's just like she would change Australia.
Everything.
My God.
She gave a huge speech in y'all's parliament, like what we do in front of Congress and the Senate. And you can find it. I shared it on Instagram, where she basically said it like it was with the pokety pokes. You're going to die. Basically, that's what these are designed for. And for people who are forced to get it, matters need to be taken into hand. We need to save you. First of all, if you want to be sick, we need to get you into treatment plans to get this out of your body. And then we need to hold these companies liable. Every single corporation that forced people to get it to go to work needs to be held liable. We need Nuremberg trials again.
Yeah. And I mean, it's my understanding. I mean, this is just what I've noticed with people that have got it. It seems to affect, so any pre-existing conditions that you had, it seems to just go straight for that.
It's shutting people's organs down. Like people are having organ failure. It's also, according to Lou, it's for some people, not everybody, but it's stealing their soul. They're soulless now. So you're going to see an aggression pop up in like violence on the streets, which Sergey Monast spoke about. He spoke about that happening in the 90s.
Yeah, and I have heard, I mean, there were some conspiracy theories, which I don't believe that they're conspiracy theories anymore. It all seems to be truth. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that's anything to do with the 5G towers and activating something that's in it. It can affect people's moods and things like that.
At this point, I wouldn't doubt anything. I'm going to show you guys. So if you guys are a part of Fusion Body Studio, I'm going to show you, and you got the pokety poke. Again, don't panic. I'm going to show you exercises that are pretty good for this. Like what I'm talking about is not doing cardio, because it's going to, mess up your heart too much. Now, if you didn't get the pokey poke, don't use that as an excuse not to do cardio. If you did not, let me make that clear. If you did not get the pokey poke, your ass needs to be doing cardio at least once or twice a week on top of everything else, right? But if you did get the pokey poke, let me show you guys what would be the best workouts to help you detox without putting too much stress on your heart. It would be dun dun dun, dun bar for men.
Ah, interesting.
Because the difference between the bar for men classes and the
other bar classes,
is that I do way more cardio in the other, like the bar fusion. We have more, it's more dancey, it's more like flowy girly. I take the dancing out. That comes out of the bar for men. So the cardio there, you're still gonna raise your heart rate slightly and you're gonna get sweaty, but it's not gonna be the impact of the jumping around that we do in the fusion class. So these classes, let's see here. No, are forced to get tested. I don't think the test, they haven't said much in the email about the test. Now I'm suspicious of the test, but I have not seen that in the emails. It's just the pokey poke in the emails. Now I will say, Paula, let me share this for anybody watching right now who is not a part of Fusion Body Studio and you desperately need something. We do put like we've promised we're going to put like 4 videos up a year for the general public to experience as a tester class for people who are thinking about joining Fusion Body and they want to test a full class out. We're going to put 4 up a year. The last one I put up back in 2025. Let me pull up my RUMBL and I'll show you guys. We have let me pull it up here. Might take me a moment. We have a free class, the first bar for men class for people to try it. We loaded it up to my RUMBLE class. Here it is. I'm going to show you guys. It's over on RUMBLE. I can't share the link because of how YouTube is. But if you go over to my RUMBLE page, same channel name, and you find this workout right here. I think we're going to try to load it to Fusion Body's YouTube channel. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to add that. Take Paula away. It's this one. So free 60-minute bar for men. It's over on RUMBLE. This is, again, it's bar for men. So there's no high impact. So you can try that. You have to go look for it on the RUMBLE page.
Yeah.
We already have over 1,000 views on this video, which is awesome that people, like 1,300 people have done this. And then if you like it and you want to join Fusion Body, there's a whole lot more of that where that came from. And so, but if you need to try it, especially if you got the pokey poke, that is up on RUMBLE. And maybe we can let me know if YouTube is weird about certain things. And so that's why I feel more comfortable putting those free workouts up on RUMBLE, just because YouTube.
Well, we're also just concerned about copyright with the music.
And also YouTube is very weird about holistic healing. And I say stuff in the videos that have to do with that. So I want to be careful about that. But it's over there if you guys want to try it. And then if you like it, join us on Fusion Body. We'd love to have you. We've got, again, you guys, we got so many incredible things coming up. I'm so excited again for those in the back who didn't hear. We have a microphone now. We just got the microphone in. And so it's going to totally change the way we do our workout videos because I don't have to do voiceovers anymore. I can talk to you while we're working out together, and we can actually do more lives. We want to get to the space, not right away because I still need to get comfortable with the microphone, but we want to get into a space where every single workout we do is live so that people can interact. And then once it's finished, it just goes up on our library so that if you couldn't make the live, no big deal. It's there for you later. And so we want to do the best we can. I want to say too, Paula, like if people are really struggling emotionally with what's being revealed, they can reach out to us and we can maybe suggest some exercises to help them process.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it would be great if everybody could team together and kind of just help come up with protocols. If anybody has heard of different protocols, I know that doing heavy metal detoxes and things like that are really, really helpful to help get it out of your body. There was also one that I was taking for a little while. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's an amazing drop. So I will find that and include that in the description box. There's so many different protocols out there. I was just listening the other day. So it popped up on Instagram actually, and they were sharing, this lady must have been speaking from like the 70s or the 80s or something, and she was literally saying that there was a cure for the C word.
Yeah, it's in the Epstein emails.
Oh, well, what did they say it was? Because
I haven't read that. I've just seen other people cover that part, but yeah, they've covered it. Some other channels have.
This lady said it was literally black walnut hull, and what's the other one that goes with the black walnut? I can't remember now. It's gone from my mind. But seriously, she said that literally kills it out of your body.
And I have such a different perspective on the big C now than I used to. Like, it doesn't scare me at all. I would also suggest looking up German New Medicine. I have over on RUMBLE, and this was a Western medicine doctor in Germany who got fed up with basically the Rockefeller system, and he basically combines like Western medicine with holistic. Ginny says clove. Is it clove?
Clove as well, yes, but there's something else I'm thinking of. I actually just ordered some drops the other day for myself to take. I just got to find my account, log in to see what I purchased.
While you're finding that, Paula, since Ginny's in our chat right now, Ginny, yes. Guess what, girl? Guess what you got? Poor Ginny has an injury, and guess what, Ginny? It just got loaded. Paula will send the email out today.
Yes, I'm going to send it out after this.
I did a 30-minute chair workout, you guys, so you can work out sitting down. We're going to do a specialty playlist for injuries and stuff like that. And I even say, if you like the 30-minute one, I can do a whole hour of a seated workout if you guys want me to. So Jenny, check that out and let us know how that feels on your foot. Because there's always a solution, guys. That's the good news. Even though we are in the dark night of the soul for anything in the world, there's always a solution.
There's always a solution. And it's called wormwood and black walnut hull. And then I've literally just ordered these drops off iHerb, and it's called a gut cleanse. And so Ginny's right. So it's wormwood and a clove blend, but then it's also got pumpkin seed oil in it. It's got clove oil, peppermint oil, oregano, and fennel. And so it's just a great blend. And then so you take that, and then there's also the other bottle. It's a 2-pack, and the other bottle is fulvic acid. So fulvic acid is amazing as well, just giving you those minerals and nutrients that your body needs when it's detoxing. Mm-hmm. So I highly recommend. I also take bentonite clay and diatomaceous earth. I take a teaspoon of that every morning in coconut water. Even though I'm Vata, for some reason I seem to be okay with coconut water. But if you're Vata, probably don't. Yeah, if you're really high.
Yeah, just see how you react.
Yeah, see how you react.
Yeah, it's absolutely, and trust that too, you guys. Like, sort of thing about like the food pyramid's bullshit. Like if you feel shit eating certain foods, but it's considered healthy, guess what? It's not healthy for you.
It's not healthy for you. Exactly.
So we got to get and I would say too, as far as like the government is concerned, do what our ancestors did. Form militias, get together. They used to meet up in pubs and bars to plan this stuff. Meet up with your friends, plan it. Leave your phones outside.
Yeah, because when
people think about it this way, guys, in the 18th century, how did a country invade? In person with weapons.
Yeah.
In the 21st century, how are they invading us? Through poking and controlling our reality. So we have to be the resistance. This is it, where we have to make a choice. Are we going to let these motherfuckers off the hook? Or is this going to be the last straw? Or we finally take our free men do not ask permission.
Yeah, because they've been giving us these clues for years now. Mm-hmm. People have been speaking out about this for years, and everybody just keeps, it's like it's a little thing and then it's pushed under the rug. And the media's to blame for this.
Absolutely part of the problem. I mean, who were the main people executed in the Nuremberg trials? Journalists and doctors.
Wow.
You think they would be a little scared because that was less than 100 years ago, but I guess people never think it will happen to them.
I know.
Even though they're hurting people. So, Well, Paula, we've been on now for an hour and 40 minutes. I love talking about this. I love talking about spirituality and the body, you guys. And we're so excited about now that I've got the microphone. I guess I was saying we're shooting at AYA now. We had to do a couple of videos back here because
Well, the weather.
yeah, well, the roof had to be repaired because we had an ice storm. So in the off hours they had. But now we're back in the studio, and it's so much better filming at the studio because we have more space, and it's easier to see because it's a blank wall. And we also got professional lights, so it's not just regular. We have professional lights up, and then we have the microphone, and so our workout videos are going to get so much clearer and better for you guys. And so we've already released a flush and plank and the 30-minute seated, and I'm going to be doing another bar for men and then another bar fusion. So please let me exactly
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so let us know, guys, as well, if you're on Fusion Body, please give me, especially for the workouts, please tell me like what you feel like you need, not what you want, because we all massages, but what you feel like works really well for you, so that moving forward, I know exactly what kind of workouts I can create. Because I'm here. This isn't the Bryce show. I have my own practice that I do. Actually, Jenny, it's so funny. I typically, little behind the scenes tease here, when I do my workout videos for Fusion Body, that's not my only workout or practice that day. Before I film for Fusion Body, I always do my own workout first because I need to be messy and I need to work on my shit first before I can actually demonstrate and be present for the student. So Jenny, because I did it seated, there's a lot of weight stuff from the seated. I did my practice that morning, and then I did the seated with heavy weights for our students. I was so sore.
Oh, yeah.
The day after, I was so sore. I was like, what happened to my arms? And it was because I had done like all these heavy weights versus in my, so anyway, but that is my promise to you as a teacher. This is not the Bryce show. Like, I do my own work. I have my own work that I work on every day. And so I need to hear from you guys how I can better serve you as you're working through your own shit and you're on the mat.
Well, one thing, I think you make classes really fun. Like, I just feel like there's so much fun, and you pick the best music to listen to. They're always such great songs. And I feel like it's just, I love the way that the classes are designed, because you just feel complete at the end, you know, the way that you do it with how you explain with the, is it Apana and
Prana, yeah, Apana or Prana, Apana neutral, Prana, Apana neutral. So I template the practice, the workout, following the energetic patterns of the body.
Yeah.
So I always try to leave you on a neutral so that you feel balanced.
And I can feel that. I notice that when I finish.
You guys want to know another behind the scenes thing? You guys want to hear something funny before we sign out? So the last, is it up on this? Yeah. Okay. The last 60-minute bar for men class that we did. So it would be, I guess this one, number 4. Let me pull it up for a second and make sure it's the right one. Come on. Click, click, click. Let me turn. Okay. Yeah. The music's off so people can't. Yeah. This one. It's this one, you guys. It's this one. So Todd has been such an incredible sport, right? Like, he's a yoga person, but he loves bar now too, but he's been such an incredible sport. I've been doing bar now for 10 years. He's been doing it for a few months. He can't dance to save his life, you know, but he's such a strong yoga teacher, but he's been such a good sport to be the demo for bar for men. Well, during this class, because he didn't know what was coming, if you guys see, he had an absolute like breakdown in the middle of the class, and I had to like talk him back. So I now have ordered a little board that I write it out and put it in front of him so he can see what's coming. He already knows what's coming in Ashtanga. He's used to that. So the fact that he's filming with me and has no idea what I'm going to do. So I've got a little whiteboard that I put so he can see, so he knows what's coming. So he's been such a good sport to demonstrate the bar for men for us. And so, Yeah, and I'm really, I think people are loving the bar for men. I've gotten a lot of compliments about that, so I love doing that. Again, it's for women too, but we basically just take out the girly stuff, like the dancing around, and it's mostly the strengthening side of the bar. So yeah. Anyway, but that's just, everybody tell Todd thank you for sacrificing his pride.
Yeah. Oh, he's been so great and so supportive.
So for doing that, because he's a great yoga. He has some videos too with the jump back and jump through. So with the Ashtanga course, people are doing the Ashtanga beginner course. If you go into Todd's playlist, let me see here. Where is Todd's playlist? I missed it. Where is Todd? Am I missing Todd? Where is Todd? Did I just fly right past it?
For the bar for men?
No, for Todd's playlist of his workouts. Workout with Todd. Here it is. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let me pull it back up again.
I panicked for a second. I was like, oh my God, have I forgotten to do something?
This is Todd's workout, where Todd does, he has so for those who are doing the Ashtanga beginner course, on the course page, this is number 4 class. Todd works you through the jump backs and the jump throughs. So if you are on the doing the beginner course, good, the music's turned off. So if you come here, you see you see Ravi right there. He works you through all of that stuff, like how to jump back, how to jump through, how to hold the body. And then he shows you with blocks. There's me throwing the blocks at him, how to lift, and then how to jump back and jump through with the blocks.
Oh.
So anyway, if you guys are on Fusion Buddy Studio and you are taking that's there as well. So we've got a lot of stuff. Just let us know. Please just let us know what you want more of. So anyway, is there anything else you want to say before we sign out, Paula? I'm actually so happy people were in the chat this morning. I was thinking it was just going to be
Paula. I thought it would be just us.
And then people would watch later.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, everyone. And yeah, hopefully we just got to remember to empower ourselves, stay strong, and just remember that, this is a good thing that this is happening. Like, even though it's horrible and it's hard to hear all the horrible things that have happened, it's really upsetting. It's hard not to cry, but we have to remember that this is a good thing. And I'm hoping worldwide it's going to stir up that healthy anger in people, not a bad negative anger, but just a healthy, like, this is not okay. We need to make changes.
Wisdom of the wrathful person. Make sure you're working out, because you can't fight.
We want to be strong. Yeah, we need to be strong.
Yeah, and grounded. And I feel like there was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember, you guys. Let us know. And absolutely. Thank you guys. Listen, we're all just walking each other home. We're all just walking each other home.
And stay strong, Kim, because I know how hard it is when you've got kids, 2 difficult ex-partners. Yeah, I know. But, we can get through it.
That's what I was going to say. If you're not part of Fusion Buddy Studio and you would like to try us out, you can use my name, Bryce, BRICE, all caps 20 at checkout, and that gives you 20% off your first 6 months with us. But on top of that, guys, you get 7 days of a free trial before your card is charged. So we give you a whole week to try it. And if you decide it's not for you, then look, here's Lorraine. We got a lot of our students, you guys. Okay, Lorraine is about to open up her channel.
Oh, yay!
DK is awesome. DK is an incredible writer. I'm gonna have to turn on DK.
I love DK's Substacks.
Yeah, DK's Substack is amazing, you guys. If you go to my Substack, DK, feel free to share your Substack link in the chat. But if you guys go to Substack, DK has an incredible, and he's a Canadian patriot. Like, he's very much up in Canada, very awake. So if you're a Canadian and you want to change shit in Canada, I would say, I hate to pimp you out, DK, but I would say contact DK. He's your Paul Revere. He's your modern day Paul Revere. So find people, find communities in your area that you can connect with. I mean, the forefathers in America didn't do it by themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
They did it together. So,
and also another good thing to remember is that with all this darkness that is coming out at the moment, it actually means that it's all coming forth to the light. And it means that the darkness is actually shrinking.
Yeah, you can't. Darkness only goes away with light. It's like a bad breakup. You know those bad breakups you've had where you're just so devastated and you think your life is just never going to be the same, but then years later you're like, that was the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. Yeah, Jen. I don't understand.
Oh, I'm the same, Jen. You should see me dancing. I'm like, luckily it's only Biscoff watching me because she's just probably thinking this girl could not dance.
It is so funny, guys. I love Todd Roderick with all my heart. He's like the best thing that ever happened to me. We've been together for so long. The man cannot dance.
Yeah.
I have a hard time because I can see him in the monitor when we're doing like anything, and I'm like, oh my God, he's a skateboarder, he's a drummer, he did incredibly strong yoga practice. I'm like, why can't he dance? I'm like, why can't he dance? But it's fun to laugh, right? We gotta laugh at ourselves. And I will say, shout out to all the men. So I teach an in a real time bar class on Wednesday mornings in Marietta. It's me in the studio with a bunch of students, and guess what? Majority of my students are men.
Really?
I have 2 girls that come. 2.
What?
Yeah.
I just assumed it would be all girls.
It's all men, and it's all dads. I have a bunch of dads that come. I have a young guy that can. I have this really like young guy who's he's in school in Marietta, and I had told him when he came to one class, I was like, yeah, this is a great place to meet girls. A lot of girls take bar, and he keeps showing up, and the only girls there are middle-aged women. I'm like in other places. I'm like, for some reason, I attract the men. Like I have a bunch of men.
Wow.
So men, and they're straight men too. I mean, it doesn't matter, gay or straight doesn't matter. But for men who are scared to try bar, it's so hard. It's so effective. And a lot of men are doing it now. So you should absolutely join us. And guess what? When you are doing it in the comfort of your own home, none of your
one's judging
you and make fun of you.
Well, didn't Arnold Schwarzenegger do it?
Yeah, he did ballet.
Yeah.
A lot of NFL players do ballet. So I just
he's
can't.
Very manly.
He's very manly. Todd Roderick. I mean, bless Todd. Todd, when he first started doing bar, I was hearing sounds come out of his mouth that I've never heard before. It was so. I have pictures of his face that he doesn't know. I took these pictures of the way his face was looking. Because it's so hard, but it's so rewarding, and it really works on your pelvic floor and all that kind of stuff. It gives you that strength. So remember that, guys. If with what's coming, you get to prepare to brace yourself. You need to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, guys, if you want to join, use my name, Bryce20, BRICE, all caps 20 at checkout for 20% off of your first 6 months with us. Again, you get 7 days to try it. Membership. I've started memberships, and guys, we're going through Bloodline of the Gods. And we got 3 episodes up. I'm going to drop a new members only episode today, and we're going to do a members only live soon. And it's good we're doing the Bloodline stuff on members only, because people who are Rh negative like myself don't have to feel so vulnerable, because we can talk, and only people that can see are the members. The public can't see the chat, can't see the comments. And so if you want to join that, then join us over on the memberships. And also make sure, if you are not Paula and not about to go to bed because it's nighttime, at noon today on Todd's channel, The Confused Wanderer, we're going to be doing a Lou Lunch Live. So if you want to join us for that, then join us for that on The Confused Wanderer. Anything else going on, Paula, you want to advertise before we sign out for the day?
Yeah, I'm probably about halfway, nearly finished reading Anna, the Grandmother of Jesus, which I seem to be getting a lot of people have really been enjoying that series. It's been really, really fascinating. And once I finished off that, I'm going to be reading the second one. So that's going to be really awesome. And Jennifer and I have filmed our first episode of Edgar Casey. I just have to edit it now, and hopefully we will get that released over the weekend.
Let me know when you guys get that up, and I'll share on my community tab.
Oh, thank you. That'll be awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're very excited about that. So
all right.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for joining us.
Oh, and our Ashtanga replay crew. We have this video for the replay crew. It is a great class of Ashtanga yoga.
Oh my God, yeah.
Paul is just having a hard time getting uploaded it on the platform. So it is coming for the replay crew. For those who missed it, we haven't forgotten. If we can't get it up by Thursday of next week, we're going to try it through my computer. So please don't think this is just a technical issue. We have the video raring to go for you guys.
I've literally tried like 8 times trying to upload it, and I keep getting an error message, but I uploaded the exercise videos just fine. So I don't know what's going on.
I'm going to call in Lou.
going on?
Help us. So we have that for you guys. So be looking out. Once it's up, we'll let you know. And if we can't get it up by Thursday, we'll try it from my computer. But that is coming. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
There's always a solution. We'll figure it out. So don't think we forgot that, you guys. And yeah. So with that being said, Paula, when I hit end stream, stay. It's gonna knock you backstage. Stay there. It's not gonna kick you out. And then okay. All right, you guys have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you very soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
This is